Says we are live. Sorry for the delay, anybody who was out there. Of course, the minute you go to hit live in OBS, it decides that your microphone's not working. Love it. Anyways, we won't harp on that too long. Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show, and do I have a fun show for you guys today? At least I think so, because I love this stuff, hence why I do it, right? So I picked a bunch of projects. Having all the tabs open was messing with our connection, so I have them all tabbed in one tab. If you don't know about one tab, it's pretty awesome. I think it's a must for anybody, honestly. But what do we do first? We got to get a bit of a pulse on the market, right? So where is Bitcoin? Where's Ethereum, XRP, BNB, these top, coins, Solana? So Bitcoin, of course, at 116,000. Basically flat right this moment. Let's go ahead and refresh that. Let's make sure we have the most current data. All right, and then the overall market cap of all crypto has just barely gone under 4 trillion again. So I hate to see that, but pullback's a pullback. Honestly, this pullback so far hasn't been too crazy. I like to see that. Let me actually make sure you can see what I see. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? All right, there you go. Now you can see what I'm looking at. Bitcoin 116,000, Ethereum 4,289, pretty close to 4,300. XRP over $3, $3.05. Don't need to know what Tether is. It's $1. BNB 844, call it $845. Solana 182. Cardano 91 cents. Dogecoin 22, and that's really as far as that. What was Hyperliquid at? $42.88. So for this pullback that we've been having, not too shabby. Altcoins have actually been holding up pretty decent compared to what we've been used to seeing. And what is trending today? Chainlink is trending. Pump.fun, that's a Solana ecosystem for launching coins, Bitcoin, and Solana. SWI. So a lot of your top coins are actually in the trending today. That's really interesting. Don't see a bunch of meme coins. Zora, I did sign up for Zora. I haven't actually made a post over there yet, but I will at some point. Probably should have that link in the description if you're into Zora. It's like a social media, decentralized social media thing they've been building out for way longer than I actually thought. I thought it was a brand new project. I think it's been around since 2022, that is. Plume, I made a recorded video on that. Go look on the channel. Just so you know, I have a bunch of pre-recorded videos that I do deep dives on stuff. The lives are rather new, so go look at those pre-recorded videos. Aerodrome, I believe I have one on that as well. Hyperliquid, I think is going to be a star of this bull run for sure. Nothing financial advice, of course. Wicked Cat kind of came out of nowhere, but I've seen it everywhere. And then we have this Light. Let's go take a look at Light. Here at Underground Crypto, we just deep dive everything live and build this community up. People who care about being ahead of the crowd. 538 by market cap. That's not too shabby for a coin I feel like I've never heard of. 94.9, so almost $95 million in its market cap. And we will scroll down and take a look at its website. So it's called heaven.xyz. Very interesting. Oh, they want to hit me with some terms and conditions. What kind of data are they stealing? Who knows? All right, so great ideas live here. We always say on Underground Crypto, narrative, narrative, narrative. What is the narrative of this coin? I probably should check my audio. Good evening. Glad to see you here. Let's check the audio real quick. I've just had so many problems. All right, audio seems to be working. If I go dark on the mic, let me know. I don't know why I keep having issues with that. Anyways, Halo, Toro, Sunspot, Hachi, Starseed, God Candle, 777. All right, and you can see that the theme of all these different, what I assume to be coins, yeah, they all have market cap, so they're coins, is, around heaven, around light, around, godly stuff maybe. It's pretty interesting. Let's go to how it works, since it won't kind of let me out of this loop of spinning those coins around, right? All right, so you got quick start developers. It almost really looks like some kind of ChatGPT type thing. Yeah, he's got a search. So about Haven Is it Haven? Heaven. No, it's Haven. All right. It's the first Launchpad and AMM on Solana. So I don't know how it's the first Launchpad. Was this around before Pump.Fun? Because Pump.Fun is definitely a Launchpad, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? So let's come down and see what this is all about. The God Flywheel. That sounds quite interesting. It's not enough to just build the flywheel machine. We need to put it to use. 100% of the revenue earned by Haven as a protocol will go towards buying back Light from day one onwards. Okay, so you got a buyback type of ecosystem. That's pretty cool. You're just hopping in, hit that like, share, subscribe button. We are a new up and coming channel doing crypto deep dive and research together as a community. And right now we're looking at Light, trying to figure out what it is. It did tell us it's a launch pad and an AMM, which is an automated market maker. It's pretty interesting. It says the first on Solana, but I'm not quite sure how it could be first. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that Pump.Fun came before it, but I could be wrong. Anyways, we are looking at this because it was in the trending for today. And I have what I think is a pretty awesome show and a lot of, good coins to show you guys today. Of course, not financial advice, but I'm excited about it. Let's hop back. What else was trending today? Then we'll do our top gainers, top losers of the day, and then we'll really hop into the meat of the show. One, to keep a pulse on everything that's going on in crypto. It is Monday. We kind of got to come back from the weekend. A lot of you guys, they don't stream during the weekend, but I'm paying attention. And for all you guys who are just coming back from a long weekend, kind of keep our pulse on what's trending, what is popular. Crypto Key, glad to see you in here, man. I appreciate it. It's Monday, if you ask what's going on. It's Monday, and we're trying to make sure we keeping our pulse if you were away for the weekend on what's going on. So let's go to our top gainers, top losers, and then we will hop into the actual show. Really, this is just a moment to, let people hop in. So you got Joystick right off the bat, up 237%. Not sure what it is. Joystick sounds like it should be in the gaming category, GameFi category, something like that. It's 21 cents. Dare hit its max log. Yeah, its max log looks like the same as its month log. So it hasn't been out very long. August 14th, 2025. According to Go Plus, the contract creator can make changes to the token or contract, such as disabling selling, changing fees, mining. Yeah, so it's giving you a warning up here. Not necessarily what you want to see on a token if you were going to speculate. All right, Crypto Keep, go ahead. Drop it in the comments, man. I can't stop you. But anything you want to share, go right ahead, man. I appreciate it. Also, that Discord link is in the description. I would appreciate it if you hop in the Discord as I build that community over there. It might take a little minute to build up, but, the day ones will certainly get some kind of perk, in the future. So $39.7 million in this Joystick. Let's go take a look at it because I'm not really sure what it is. So the most intriguing space for Web3 gaming and entertainment. Experience the new frontier of gaming, metaverse, and awesome content. I do love GameFi. That is not a secret. So Joysticks Lab is a team of game enthusiasts focused on creating an ecosystem. I feel like I said that so weird. For Web3 game. Joystick Labs aims to bring the Web3 metaverse space to life by creating a platform called FreeTYL, where Web3 gamers and content creators can socialize and stream their gameplay content. So looks like it is a space for developers or, creators of different games and stuff. That's pretty cool. And enthusiasts, I guess, as well. People who love to play them. Looks like very, what do you call that? Man, I'm blanking. VR. Yeah. I don't know why I was blanking. I wanted to say AR, but that is a totally different thing. So to create products that will enhance Web3 gaming experience, create more exposure to Web3 games, products, etc. New project launching this Friday. Hey, man, drop that sauce in the comments. I would love to hear about it. If for some reason you don't want to put it here, you could certainly put it in the Discord. There's literally nobody in there right now. Just building that out. Might be one or two people. So we got FreeTYL DApp. Joystick Lab Games, and this BR Academy tokens. The Joystick token has been meticulously designed to foster a robust and sustainable ecosystem. With a total supply of 1 billion tokens, the allocation strategy ensures balanced distribution amongst investors, team members, advisors, and community incentives, promoting long-term growth and engagement. That's pretty cool. I didn't really like what they had to say on CoinGecko about the warning that they had for them. They have a lot of control over this contract. You know, I like a fair launch, that kind of thing. They're launching on virtuals. It's similar to Monero using AI. Okay, well, I'm familiar with Monero for sure. So it's a privacy coin, CryptoKeep. Is that what it is? Public sale, 10%. Where are we at? Losing my mouse right here. So we got public sale, team, advisors. I mean, it looks like it's set up all right. I mean, this looks pretty typical for any more recent crypto to come out. So they got paper writing, platform, UI. This is the roadmap, website, early testing, MVP launch, public testing. So these people have a vision. They certainly want to, you know, make something, or at least they claim they do. We never know these fly-by-nights if they're going to be legitimate or not. And CryptoKeep, what's the name of the project? Can I go ahead and look it up? Is there anything about it already out? Again, I appreciate you being here, man. So that's Joystick, #1 trender of the day. Let's come here and look at the tokenomics a little bit. 39.7 million is market cap, not too shabby. Like they said, 1.5 billion max supply, but only 150 million tokens out. So that's pretty small. A lot of tokens to come out. When are they coming out? Don't drop them on our head and drive the price down. So although the chart doesn't look great, it hasn't been out very long, and it came from like $1.79, oof, all the way down to 10 cents. Now, a lot of pre-sales and stuff will do this to a project. People bought in early, and then, of course, as soon as it launches, they're already up 6, 10, or more X on their money, and they sell immediately upon launch. Kind of hurts the project a lot. Also, this is a Binance Smart Chain contract address. As much as I love Binance Smart Chain, there are plenty of ruggers over there and people that will promise you the moon. So I'd be careful about that and keep that in mind. Not financial advice. So Omikami. Looks like a meme coin. It's up 113%. We're just looking at what is top gainers, top losers. I only spent so much time on that other one because it was the top gainer of the day. So we kind of needed to know what it was about. I'm going to skim these other ones a lot quicker. Yep, privacy token. And do you know the name of it? Oh, you shared the link to their X account. It's called Mute Swap. Okay, so it's also going to be a swap as well, I take it. All right, my computer does not like that. So this is crypto. You got to keep yourself safe, right? So we're not going to go to that website. So Connex, 37.3%. Definitely heard of Connex. Not sure what it is. 37.7 million in market cap. Of course, same thing. $68 fell all the way down to $23, and it's had a little bit of a move back up. This is pretty common for a new project. So it's talking about July 19th, 2025. There you go. Very new project. Early people, early investors, or just, you know, pre-sales, pre-seed rounds, selling off. It's what it always seems. If a new project comes out, I tell you, don't buy it at the top. Well, I can't tell you that. I wouldn't buy it at the top. That's my opinion, not financial advice for you. But this is not where you want to be getting in day one, all right? It almost always gets sold off. Down here would be the smarter place to get in, right? So we got 100 million tokens, with 1.1 million of them out. And again, it is a Binance Smart Chain. So we're starting to see a bit of a common theme there. The top gainers of the day are Binance Smart Chain, or Binance contract, Binance Smart Chain contract, however you want to say it. That's where they are. It's the ecosystem that they live in. You really want to pay attention to that. Your Web3 professional community. Okay, well, this is interesting. What's the narrative? Explore opportunities explore opportunity you are interested in, right? So they have all kinds of different things here, from layer 0 to DeFi to metaverse, socialfi, gamefi. These are all the different niches or categories, I would say. It's nice to have them laid out. Find the right job for you. So this is probably very much about bringing in the talent to build Web3. Yep, connect Web3 talent with professional networks. So as this Web3 gets bigger and more big players come into the space, they're going to need people who know what the heck they're talking about, maybe have some skills, developing, coding, all of that kind of stuff. Tokenomics, pay for subscription, pay for a credential, pay for circle, pay for exposure, so pay for everything. Governance, integrity assessment, which is, I guess, for getting a job. It's like an interview, I would imagine. And we have, looks like 100 million token supply. Got the token address right here. Always make sure you're getting the token address. So this looks really interesting. I said I wouldn't go too far in this. So I would put this in the social niche. It's social niche, but it's also like get you a job in Web3 because you're very interested in Web3 kind of thing. That's interesting. It's not just another fly-by-night game. So that's awesome. So we got WikiCat. Bridge between chains. Yeah. That is certainly foundational stuff for an ecosystem. It's cool that they have that. And you said it was Hyperliquid? Or no, you didn't say Hyperliquid. What did you say it was? On virtuals. Okay. Yeah. So it's an AI agent, I take it. I'm really waiting for that AI agent narrative to come back. So we have Hopper, 27.4%. Number 842 with $45.6 million in its market cap. Its chart looks a little better. Let's go to Max. Does it look any different? Look, looks the same. They all seem to do this no matter how long they came out. So this is all the way back to 2021. So this project from 2021, it's an Ethereum contract. Why would it be getting all of this attention all of a sudden? Try the Genesis VPN POC. No, thank you. We're built for private internet for everybody, so this seems like it is very much a VPN. Not a narrative I see a lot. The Achilles heel of Web3, transport layer privacy. Decentralized approach to digital services, finance, and data transfers will usher in a new era of freedom, fairness, and user choice, but without transport level privacy, Web3 is actually less private than Web 2, because exposed metadata can be used to disrupt, exploit, and censor user and service even behind a VPN. Very interesting concept right there. This is something right here, in my opinion, is worth keeping in the back of your mind, that your privacy on Web3 is actually less private. Now, is that true? Is that a marketing ploy by these people? I have no idea. But Hopper is trending today for some reason. I don't exactly know why. And they have a video, and it's probably very techie about the internet and stuff like that and how it's not safe. We're not going to go that far into it, but they do have a VPN. I would be interested in maybe deep diving that a little bit more and seeing if their VPN is really any good. They could just tell us it's less safe. I don't know if it is. A lot of your stuff that you do is going to be on chain, right? Decentralized. That is the whole idea of it. So naturally, wouldn't be totally surprised if, people can see what you're doing and they found a way to exploit it, right? So this is Graph AI. It's the only loser of the day that I'm going to really check out here. But it came out back in, looks like around July 18th, 2025. So again, another one that has not been around that long. This chart really did the opposite, which is very interesting. So again, it's pulled back a little bit. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Sourced and Sold. Subscribe if you love crypto. So anyways, came out around 19 cents, had this big pump, and now it looks like it's consolidating or pulling back a little bit, however you want to say that. I don't know. I'm not really all that great at TA, but it looks like it's just pulling back. Looks pretty healthy to me. It's on the base blockchain. So let's go to graphai.tech. Check out what this is. Narrative. What is the niche? What is the point of this? Why would anybody else speculate on it? That's the name of the game. MCP native and Graph RAG powered. All right, so we're gonna learn some new definitional words here. AI data layer for DeFi, DFAI. So they just threw an A between the I and DeFi. Okay, all right. So it's like DeFi but AI. Proving real-time structured blockchain intelligence required with integrate real-world assets on-chain agentic AI applications. So this is mostly for real-world assets. Is that the niche? Have we figured it out? Unlock possibilities with Graph AI. Why does Graph AI sound so familiar? Let's go to their Twitter real quick. And we are just deep diving together. That is the point of this show for sure. So they have 15,000 followers, not too shabby. Delivering real-time blockchain intelligence to power on-chain AI agents, integrating real-world assets. So think AI agents with a hyper-focus of real-world assets, which is something I think is coming sooner than you think. And they are just really working on the infrastructure in many different ecosystems and projects and companies that want to really grab a lot of that, market share. So that's all we're going to look at there. I'm going to start the list of coins that I will be going over today and really kick this show off. So the first one is this one that I always am scared to try to say. So succinct. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but let's just call it Prove because the ticker is Prove. And if I remember, I think it might be a rebrand of another project. So 243.3 million in its market cap, not too small. With looks like 1 billion tokens in max supply and only close to 200 million in circulating supply, leaving a little over 800 million to come out. Not too little, not too big. All right. Prove the world software. Okay, so it's called Prove. I have looked at this before, and it is about I believe, ZKVM. It's about how the infrastructure of blockchains prove that the information they're getting is real or not real, trustworthy, untrustworthy, however you want to put it. ZK stands for zero knowledge. So it's a way of not necessarily giving the knowledge to the verifier, but also allowing them to verify it. It's a really interesting concept if you're a little bit more on the techie side, right? And if you're just hopping in, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Let's go look a little bit more at when this project came out. Max log looks pretty similar. So August 5th, 2025 is when CoinGecko started tracking it. That's pretty much what I just go off of because it would take forever for me to run around and try to find this stuff on the fly of exactly when it came out. Maybe their X account will give us a little bit more information. So 175.2 thousand followers. That is pretty good. So they said it couldn't be done. We proved them wrong, hence proved as the ticker. And Succinct Prover network is now live on mainnet. Okay, and that was August 5th. So obviously this thing has been under development for longer than August 5th, but this is, I guess, when their mainnet went live. Pin post has 175,000 impressions, but less than 1,000 likes. I always find that to be a little strange. Ethereum should make zero knowledge a first-class citizen, ZK a first-class citizen. I'm not sure what the heck they're talking about. You got this guy right here. Looks like he is very into some developing and coding. The intern is interning. That's pretty funny. So Bankless. So this project seems very techy, but it also seems like it could really maybe provide, a usable product in the ecosystem. Looks like OP, Optimism. What else we got here? I don't really recognize those other symbols. I probably should, but I don't. Anyways, I just thought this was really interesting. Just wanted to bring it back up. This was trending a lot last week and got a lot of attention last week. Usually when they're not getting a lot of attention, they're pulling back. In my opinion, that could be a good time to snatch some up. So far, I haven't bought any, to be completely transparent. I do love to tell you guys when I am buying or not buying something. So what's next on our list here? So we got Towns, right? So this was another one that looked really interesting. It's got $68.9 million in its market cap. For me, a lot of times once something gets over, say $30-40 million in its market cap, starts to get away from, the extremely fraudulent stuff. But that's just my opinion. Of course, we've had big rug pulls in the crypto history. So August 5th, another one August 5th. I wonder if it has any connection. In the max, it's down 51.7%. Hasn't been out very long. Don't know if that's something you should be scared about. But again, if a coin comes out and you're excited about it, just like Crypto Keep was talking about, you might not want to buy it the first week it comes out because it's probably going to go down. People got it early. People are going to have a lot of increased value, most likely going to sell it. So $15.3 billion in its max supply, billion dollars. I always want to say dollars. Tokens, assets, 15.3 billion tokens. Well, only 2.1 are in the circulating supply. Pretty common of a new project. Don't know that you should necessarily be running scared. It does say the 24-hour trading volume is 415.1 million. That's pretty good. That is much, much more than its market cap. But what are they trading? It doesn't really look like there's a lot of volatility in this token. But most important of all, what is this token? The blockchain for communication, build, grow, and own your own digital square. So this is probably about monetizing, your own communities and content. So let's go to a roadmap maybe. I don't know if a roadmap's really the best place to go before we know what it even is. Build value, accruing communities, sell exclusive access to chat groups. Membership is immutable on chain. Keep more of what you earn, owned by its members. It really sounds like Discord. Sounds like a blockchain-styled Discord. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. My Discord that I'm launching, just launched. The link is in the description. Getting tied over my words here. So spaces created, memberships, revenues generated, and unique space ownership is some of the analytics that they're touting here. Town stack, end-to-end encryption, decentralized messaging, programmable space, and ownable communication. It reminds me a lot of Zora, which I did make an account, but I haven't posted anything over there, which is like a social fi niche where, on Zora, every post you make is its own token, right? And then, you get a little bit of it and people can buy and trade it. It sounds like a great idea. No idea how predominant that's going to get. I know that Base, they're launching a very similar social fi type thing, and they want to replace the ad revenue. Like if you have a lot of apps on your phone, which you most likely do, doesn't matter if you're, Android or Apple, but a lot of them feed you ads and you have to watch ads, especially if they're games. You watch ads if you're not already paying for the app or a premium membership on an app, and therefore that's how they're making their money. That's why it's free to download and they didn't charge you. Well, it seems like an interview that I watched with somebody from, Coinbase, that they want to kind of disrupt that model by this whole what Zora is doing, where you have to actually buy and sell, the posts themselves. It's a really interesting idea. Oh, needed some water. All right. So apps on Town protocol, it looks just like a social media, right? So it says you can start building. Is this thing live? Let's see if we can open the app. We click open app, but nothing is happening. So here's Towns. Now, a lot of it seems, a little crazy that a lot of people are trying to get social fi right and down, but honestly, when one of these companies, projects, however you want to think of it, do get social fi nailed down and have the winning model for it, they are going to explode. That's my opinion personally, but it's worth trying to keep a pulse on it, because if you can catch that first mover advantage, you could go pretty far in your speculation. Catapult, Zen Academy. So explore towns. These are the different towns, I guess, is the way they have it set up. Baggers, Clash of Coins, Sistine Research, West Coast Mining Hub, Kin Charts, Muscle Factory. So these look like all different communities. I should probably get one of these, but I have never heard of this. All right, this is very interesting. I'm actually going to kind of keep that on the back burner as maybe some other places that I can grow my own community. But I just saw this being talked about and trending, so I wanted to bring it up. Not too high of a market cap, and it is down 51.7% probably since it came out. So you're definitely not buying the top of this coin here. What is next? So let's go look at Sidekick. So Sidekick was another one that was trending, another one that I wanted to look at. We are deep diving these together, so not every single one of these I actually really know what they are. That's why we're doing it. 23.9 million in market cap, 1 billion tokens in max supply, and 111.3 million in its circulating supply. This one is also down 51.4%. Very, very odd. What ecosystem? Ethereum. Sidekick fans. So this website looks really interesting. A lot of Japanese writing and stuff. I wonder if this is not, very American. Does have English all over the website, but the clips and stuff tell a different story. So this almost looks like it is like a Twitch. So you see on blockchain, people are rushing on blockchain to make versions of things that people already use. This looks like it is meant to be Twitch, but for blockchain on the back end of things, right? Let's go to their Twitter real quick, see what their Twitter says, or their X. What are you saying? Are you saying Twitter or are you saying X nowadays? 602,000 followers. That's a lot of followers. With the gold check mark, it says share and engage with the world's first live-fi platform backed by this person, Sidekick fans. Live now. Okay. I mean, it wasn't quite wrong with the whole Twitch idea, but it is about live streaming. Well, I guess that is what Twitch is, right? Sidekick is Ku King. Is that the token? I think Sidekick is the token, right? A lot of things in Japanese, so it seems like these are a lot of maybe Japanese streamers. This person looks like they're streaming in a tent. Very interesting. So yeah, for the people who love streaming, when I looked at the website, it seemed like it was a lot of games. But maybe there's people streaming other stuff. Oh yeah, it looks like somebody's streaming. Oh, is that a soccer game or is that real soccer? I don't know. I think it's a soccer game. I'm sure there's people on here doing other stuff. This person looks like they're doing charts and technical analysis. Wow, they have 49.5 thousand views. This is pretty cool, I think. This might be something to keep an eye on. I'm definitely going to keep that window open so that I can kind of pull that back when it's relevant, because that's really interesting. I don't see why that wouldn't take off. It seems like gamers and people who love the live stream might be a little bit more favorable to the whole crypto and decentralized narratives. That's pretty cool. What do I got next for you? Let's find out. So next we're going to talk about SatLayer, or SLAY is the ticker. And it is at a high 2 cents, 2.5 cents right now. It is down 72.7% in its monthly chart. When did it come out? August 11, 2025. Notice that all of these projects that I'm showing you are new projects. So sometimes we can't judge their chart too harshly, right? They came out pre-investors, seed rounds, however they structured their, coin, their project, their company. Somebody had some tokens already and they sold, because who is selling tokens the day they come out if you didn't already have some tokens somehow, right? Make it make sense. $11.6 million in market cap, tiny market cap. I like to think that when a coin gets to more like 40 million, 50 million in market cap, it gets a little bit safer, but that's not factual. That's just how I feel about it. $2.1 billion in max supply, circulating supply 441 million. So a lot of tokens to come out for sure. But again, on a new project, that is not as concerning to me. Now, how they put them out can make a huge difference on how big of an impact that has on price. So we are looking at Sat Layer. Time to claim your sleigh. Maybe they're doing an airdrop. Claim it before the 13th of September. So the new financial system, the new economy built on Bitcoin. That's what I thought it was. When I saw Sat Layer, I'm pretty sure that I knew that it was something to do with, Bitcoin building into an ecosystem like Ethereum has been, why people originally made Ethereum and kind of moved over to Ethereum as far as developing and stuff goes, because Bitcoin wasn't really built out and ready. They have done all kinds of things like the Lightning Network and stuff to start to be able to have it on chain. Bitcoin maxis don't like it. They think it could possibly hurt Bitcoin. I don't really know one way or the other. I hear all the different arguments, but I'm not really sure who's right. Trusted by leading L1s and protocols, SatLayer works with leading projects that generate revenue daily on BVS, Bitcoin validated services, ensuring the yield provided is real and sustainable with an ecosystem that's included. Now, if they could get it right and do this well, I think this could be awesome for sure. So, got Bera, Sui, Babylon. Are these all the people that they work with? Is that what they're saying? Trusted by leading one. Yeah, I would think that other layer ones would trust Bitcoin layer one. I don't know why you wouldn't. Bitcoin seems to be pretty good. So, phase one is deposit your Bitcoin LST into SatLayer vaults by Babylon Genesis to earn rewards and support our mission, right? Then phase two, operators and services will soon be able to join SatLayer to leverage shared Bitcoin security and validate their services with restaked Bitcoin. And I've heard about this restaked Bitcoin or restaking idea quite a bit lately. Seems to be a popular narrative. So SatLayer operators, SatLayer protocol powers a network of trusted operators that help projects launch, scale, and secure next generation blockchain apps, all backed by Bitcoin's unmatched finality and SatLayer's robust coordination layer. Always apply as an operator. So that's pretty much the gist of it. This is built on Bitcoin. This is think of it as like Ethereum for Bitcoin or smart contracts for Bitcoin, right? Let's go ahead and launch the app, see if they have anything cool to show us on there. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, especially that subscribe button. Would help me out greatly. Stake, restake, earn a universal reward layer for DeFi, liquid staking and restaking backed by BTC liquidity and security. So there's all kinds of different ways to restake. Restaking is an interesting idea. Not exactly sure what it means. Does it mean that you stake something and then you take what it gave you from staking it and then you go stake that somewhere else? And then how many times can we do that, down the road? You're going to earn, even if it was only 4 or 5% APY, but you had the same money in, several different pools. Does it even work at that point for providing liquidity? I don't know. Restaking is something I'm definitely going to look into more and have a better explanation for you guys in the future, right? So they got Cube. Don't know what Cube is. And this is all ecosystem type stuff of Bitcoin. So it's really interesting. So this looks like some kind of stake, unstake, claim, some kind of liquidity pool, TVL, APY. Has an 18.4% APY. Very interesting. A lot of people park their money in a bank and get 0.01% interest. 18.4 might be a little unsustainable. I have no idea. But, places like Coinbase, you could at least get 4% on your Ethereum or Solana or something, right? Let's go to restake. I guess that's where we already are. Dashboard. Very interested in this stuff. Would have to spend a little bit more time in it to kind of make my own personal opinion of how far I think this is going to explode in the short-term future. Because, here at Underground Crypto, we very much believe in the 4-year cycle. I think that it is, proven right and relevant until it's not. So when we see the 4-year cycle broken, then I will certainly look at other things. But, we don't have that long until the end of this year, which would be the top of the market. So anyways, that is Slay, Sat Layer. It's down 72.7% in the month. As the bull run progresses, different things seem to pop at different times, different ecosystems, different niches, and I don't think it is time at this very moment for Bitcoin layer 2 or L1 ecosystem to start popping off. What else do I got for you here? All right, so we'll go ahead and pull all of these up. So this is a coin that came on my radar from another YouTuber. I don't have any shame in that. We're all deep diving. We're all researching. Is he saying this just because he's pumping it somehow? I don't know, but his thesis is definitely really good. It's up almost 6x in the month. Let's go to the max log. Up almost a 10x in a month. So far his thesis is not bad, right? And it started at 0.001. Had a high of 0.02, so it eliminated a 0 for sure. That is what you like to see in a coin that you have speculated on. I say speculate, you could say invest, same thing. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research. Anyways, in the last month, yeah, that's a 6x. Last 7 days, like a 6.4. So it started to pull back a little bit, which is not crazy. Has $14.8 million in its market cap. Now, it has a name that might throw you off or turn you off a little bit from this coin. It is called Worthless Coin, right? Well, the name kind of says the quiet part out loud. Many meme coins have been ridiculed by a lot of people for being worthless, right? For not having any real value, especially meme coins that don't do anything. Nowadays, meme coins are a little bit better. They actually do some things, but not every coin does. So we're going to go to their website here, which just took us to x.com, which is weird because when he went over it, he definitely had a website. Maybe we'll get their website from x.com. A limited supply of nothing for boomers, the bears, and the bulls, right? So the whole idea is you have a limited supply of nothing because, well, a meme coin or something like that is literally nothing or worthless. So it's a movement, it's an idea, but it seems to be getting a lot of grassroots movement. This is the gentleman whose video I watched. Oh, it's not going to take me to his actual YouTube. So if you recognize this dude, he's pretty cool. I've caught a lot of his videos. I don't watch everything that he puts out, but yeah, this is where I got it from. I really just wanted to make sure I give credit where it's due. But the whole kind of thesis is that this coin is very connected with this Moonshot app that they have on, iOS and the App Store, mobile or Android. And so you can go on there, and the whole idea is just like Coinbase or something, onboarding new users, people being able to see a community on X, on their social media, and then quickly be able to buy the coin without the headache of wallets and stuff. And you might be saying, well, why would we really care about that? Why don't they just go to Coinbase and buy it? Obviously, a lot of things are not on big exchanges like Coinbase till much, much later, and many people will feel like they missed out, especially people who are not already in crypto. They will say, man, I should have bought that coin, but I tried and I had no idea how to buy it. Sounds like my story of trying to buy Bitcoin when it was 50 cents a coin, but I could not figure it out, and I didn't know enough about it, so I didn't think it was that important for me to keep trying. Boy, was I wrong. Don't want to repeat that mistake. So anyways, this Worthless Coin, have seen a lot of people. They didn't pay for a lot of advertising, if any. So it's very grassroots, and there are a lot of people jumping on this and blowing this up. Just maybe because they're invested, or maybe because they like the narrative. Probably because they're invested. So I haven't bought any of this yet, but I think I might buy some of this because it looks pretty good. So the whole point is that onboarding through Moonshot is going to bring a lot of new customers and make it really easy for people to buy those coins that they normally would not have any idea how to buy because they're not crypto savvy, right? I was really hoping for a website. Don't see a website here. I could have swore that in his video he had a website. I did not think it would be hard to find it. What do we got? All right. So no website, man. That's a real bummer. I was really looking forward to looking at their website. But this Moonshot app, I tried to pull up their website, but of course, they just have the app and no website. and I don't know how to stream from my phone. What can I say? So this is worthless coin. It is up a bunch, hasn't been out that long, and has the narrative that, closely connected with an app that is going to onboard and allow people to buy. Has some good things going for it, not financial advice. So here's another one. These next two were in the same video, but I thought he had good narrative and good points for all of them. He seems to do some pretty good research and have some pretty good thought behind the things that he recommends. So 0.602291. It has definitely pumped right out the gate a lot from its max chart, which was November 6th. And then after it pumped really big in December 3rd, 2023, it is bottomed and kind of flatlined. And this is Titan X. Now, when he talked about it, was very, very interested. Now, it says the same thing here. The contract creator can make changes to this token, but this thing has been around for a long time. So I think if they wanted to rug pull, they could do it. Now, why does it not show a market cap? I don't know. Its 24-hour trading volume is pretty dismal, and its max supply is 105.6 trillion tokens. So far, I watched his video and I got his narrative, but I don't exactly know why he's so hot on this. Graph AI is Becker's baby. Okay, that's why it shot up. It's DeFi using AI. All right, Crypto Keep, thanks for that. That's somebody who I hear a lot, who I don't have time to watch every other crypto YouTuber, right? But I do try to kind of circulate around and look at everybody's videos from time to time. Becker is one that I never organically got into, so I will have to go check that out at some point. Titan X supply. So there's an app, titanx.win. I know this is all very directly related to Ethereum, as it is on the Ethereum chain. Double check that. Yep, it is, and I don't see any other chains. So this has a very limited supply from what I understand. I wanted to understand it a little better. That's why I really wanted to look at this coin with you guys today. So here's its supply. So we have a bot protocols, and that would be 10%. Liquidity, 30%. Staked is only 3.3%. Bot burn, 25.9%. And buy and burn, 30.4%. You're saying all these percentages and numbers will really wear you out. So anyways, that kind of is the gist of it. They make it look very technical. Built on the Titan X leaderboard. One of the top ones here is Dragon X. I'll just go ahead and tell you that is our next coin that we're going to look at. And I think the point that he was trying to make about this token and this Dragon X token is there's a very limited supply, right? So we don't know what the circulating supply is. This one doesn't seem like the supply is all that limited, right? 105.6 trillion, but it depends on how it's distributed, right? Let's go look at their Twitter. See if maybe we can get a little bit more insight on their Twitter. Has anybody ever heard of Titan X? So hyper deflationary DeFi 3.0 asset with the layer 1 lives within layer 1. Okay, so it's like a layer 1 within layer 1s, which is an interesting concept, right? So do we have a pinned post? I think it might be this one, right? So 16,000 impressions on their top post, 7,145. You want to be real technical followers. And let's see if they can give us a little more insight. The layer 1 inside a layer 1 is very interesting. So Titan X is going omni-chain. Very interesting. Don't feel like that really gave us a ton of extra information. Maybe it's the Dragon X coin that is actually the more lucrative one, or one that has a much more limited supply. Let's take a look at that one. All right, so again, no market cap, a max supply. All right, so I'm not really sure where Joe was going with this one. because all of this seems to be about, scarcity, and I'm not seeing any scarcity here. So I'm a little bit confused. Dragon X is DeFi 3.0. Dragon X is a deflationary store of value backed by DeFi applications, better token economics, and token burning and real utility. I fail to see how exactly you're deflationary with an unlimited amount of max supply coins. Of course, there's probably something that I'm not understanding here, so let's go into their app. You can stake Titan X. So yeah, you can only get Dragon X by staking this Titan X, right? So that's very interesting. So you do that, and then you claim for Dragon X, or maybe claim ETH or Dragon X. It's almost very confusing. I'd have to spend a little bit more time with this, right? So you can put it in their vault. They have all of these different things. You could burn it. Dragon X hybrid. This looks like it's a little confusing, and it would take a little bit of time to fully understand. Just wanted to put them on your guys' radar. And let's see, how many other coins did I have that I really wanted to show you? All right, I wanted to bring this coin up from the other day, and it is Caddy. Now, this was on our Ton ecosystem, but I kept thinking about how really good their website was. I was really impressed by their website. I look at so many different websites, right? And so it's only at almost 9 cents. It says no data showed for a max supply, so we'll just go to 1 year. So that sucks. I'm not quite sure when this came out. Oh wait, now they're showing it. All right, great. So it looks to be about the same, which is September 17th, 2024. This is on, once again, the Ton ecosystem, which is directly tied into Telegram. Now, Telegram is one of the ecosystems I personally wanted to start looking at a little bit more. That's why we did a whole deep dive last week about the Ton ecosystem. Go find that video. I thought it was a good video. And so you kind of come into the website, and this is all very GameFi, right, on Telegram. So this really lines up well. You almost get like this metaverse-looking world with great artwork. Pretty cool. I don't see a lot of this on a lot of different websites. So you got this Cat Citizen game, right? Then looks like we have Game Center. So I haven't really looked at that. And I'm just starting to explore this ecosystem because I wanted to kind of look at the feel of the way that games work over on Telegram. Are you earning the native token, right? All of those different kinds of things. I do have one of their games up. Not sure if OBS is going to let me show it to you. They have a launch pool. What else we got? And we have Cats and AI, so they have some kind of AI as well. Powered by Telegram mini games. That's what I was talking about. So within Telegram, there are also mini games, right, that you can play. I want to know if you actually earn the token from these different, from Catsy, right, or Caddy. I think CATI is the ticker. And it says you can play it on Ton, but you can also play it on Mantle. So the one game that I did check out, of course, like many blockchain games, was very simple. And this has a very small market cap. I just got a little bit of a thought for how good their website was and stuff. Seems like somebody who was doing some of this stuff for this project knew what they were doing. And it only has an $18.4 million market cap. I'm definitely looking in. I'm going to send this to my mentor when I talk to him and see what he thinks about it, right? So this Titan X and the Dragon X, I definitely wanted to put on your guys' radar, but I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that to kind of bring it to you a little bit more correctly. It seems really complicated, to be honest with you. Worthless Coin is one that I'm looking at. Now, one thing that Worthless Coin really reminds me of is Fart Coin, right? So out of the AI agents on Cookie.fun, I believe it was. Anyways, Cookie, the project, that was like a center for all the AI agents, right? When the AI agent niche really came out, that was really the center of it, in my opinion, where you could go and see when the new ones were coming out, much like a lot of different places that you use for purely meme coins, right? So this reminds me of Fart Coin. The way Fart Coin just sounds like a stupid name, and it sounds like nobody'd be interested, nobody would buy it, but that kind of is what made it pop. I think that's what made people go, what is that coin? It's stupid, right? Worthless coin, I think, has that narrative. It's already 10x. So I think it's safe to say that people are, buying and trading and selling it. And our people are very into the narrative and are holding it and doing a lot of grassroots type stuff, as Joe claimed, the influencer that I got this from. I actually had already seen this coin to be 100% fair, but he just broke it down to why this is going to potentially do well. We never know. Nothing is guaranteed in crypto, right? And it is in the Solana ecosystem, if you were wondering about that. Again, sat layer, SLAY is the ticker. It is built on Bitcoin. So think of like an ecosystem, like any of them, right? From Solana to Ethereum, those kind of ecosystems, but for Bitcoin. And then we had Towns, which was very much like a Discord, right? Or a social-fi type of thing. Then we had Sidekick. Sidekick is like Twitch on the blockchain. What was the, okay, it's an Ethereum project. So it doesn't surprise me. If it is going to be big, being built on Ethereum is a good move, right? Would be a lot sexier on Solana or Avalanche or something like that, but it's a safe move to go with the Ethereum network. Ecosystem, however you want to put it. Blockchain technology. They do have a YouTube as well. Very interesting. So if you're into streaming games and stuff, just like TikTok, you made a lot of money if you were one of the first adopters. Maybe you could make a lot of money with this. I don't know how the revenue is set up as far as that goes. Let's check out how many people we got on here. Looks like we're winding down a little bit. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Come back tomorrow. We do this Monday through Friday, 8:30 New York time. And I don't know exactly what we're going to do tomorrow, but I will probably pick an ecosystem and go over that. Hope you guys have a good night. I thank everybody for being here. Please hop in that Discord, and Discord link is in the description. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Send this to somebody you know loves crypto. Crypto Ron out.